Welcome back everybody to another update video for my Blu-ray collection, and yeah, we're continuing on with the Arrow Summer Camp sale, which I showed off in the previous update video. These are the ones I got in that previous showed off in that previous video. All really rather good to great films. Do apologise if I said that Pulsar was the a follow-up from the director of Ring. It's actually the one of the films that we have today to show off that is a follow-up to that. But yeah, firstly we're starting off with Cohen and Tate with the great Roy Schneider as well as Adam Baldwin. And yeah, Adam Baldwin isn't my favourite of the Baldwin brothers. Obviously Alec is the top tier Baldwin, but he isn't as bad as Stephen or Stefan. And yeah, he's been in a good solid amount of films, and yeah, this is one of them. Eric Red also not only wrote and directed this, but he also did the script for The Hitcher, which this isn't quite as good as that, but it definitely has the same kind of violent, same kind of road movie vibe as that film does. And yeah, it's definitely my one of my favourite later Roy Schneider films. And yeah, it's a cracking film, a really good action thriller, really violent, but yeah, tastefully so in some regards. And then we have Day of Anger. Now we've seen Giuliano Gemma in the Pistol for Ringo and Return of Ringo films that we saw in the previous updated video, but this also has Lee Van Cleef, and it's better than those two Ringo films, and that's primarily because Giuliano Gemma's character has a highly engrossing character arc going for him, and yeah, and all the typical usual Italian spaghetti western aspects. Great score, great action, solid cinematography and landscapes, but yes, generally the characterization of our lead character that makes it. And yeah, Lee Van Cleef is a superb, you know, opposing force, as it were, to Giuliano Gemma. And then we have another double feature, like we did with the Ringo films, in the form of Black Test Car and Black Report, both of which were directed by Yuzo Masumura. I'm rubbish at pronouncing foreign names, but yeah, two incredibly dry, really rather plot focused, strips away anything kind of really relating to characterization, but both really rather solid films. And yeah, I figured it was high time to get into the more Japanese films that weren't your usual Akira Kurosawa or your kaiju films, and go for something a bit different. And yeah, if you're into you know, the first one, Black Tester Car, is a corporate thriller, and Black Report is more of a police procedural with some courtroom drama thrown in. But yeah, they're both really, really good. And yeah, you get a single disc with both of them, and you also get a booklet going through them as well. And as per usual with these double film releases, you can swap the cover around to if you prefer the other film. So yeah, nice booklet. And again, like I said, it goes through the films, talks about the cast and the crew, and then shows you off some images from the film. So yeah, they're not particularly spectacular in terms of their execution, but they are really rather engrossing regardless, because like I said, they do primarily just focus on the plot, and therefore the reasonably good pace as a result of that. And then we do have the follow-up to Ring and Ring 2 in the form of Dark Water from Hideo Nakata. And yeah, this is really, really good. Not as good as Ring, but definitely better than Ring 2. And yeah, a really rather solid film that again goes with the whole dead wet girl kind of vibe of Ring. And yeah, superb release. You get a DVD and the Blu-ray with this related film there. So yeah, but again, with these double discs, I generally just go for the Blu-ray. I really don't bother with the DVD release. I don't see the point. But yeah, a cracking J-horror film, and yeah, again, expanding my Japanese you know, collection in overall, really, because yeah, there's more to Japan cinema than, or Japanese cinema than just kaiju films. And yeah, then moving on to Rififi, which is a French film, although it's directed by Jules Dessin, who is an American director, but he got blacklisted during the all communist Red Scare kind of nonsense, and moved to France to do this. And it's arguably one of his best films. Really does match the likes of Brute Force and Naked City, and is definitely better than another film that he did that I've got here, although that is still a solid film in its own right. And yeah, really, really solid film. And yeah, got a highly engrossing, intense high scene which lasts about half an hour and has no dialogue, no score, and it's just really riveting, and it's really well detailed, showing off how they pulled off the heist. So detailed, in fact, that some actual criminals actually based their heists off of that film, which is kind of odd as it is. But another Jules Dessin film is Thieves Highway with Lee Jacob and Richard Conte. And yeah, it's not as good as Rififi or the other two films I mentioned from Jules, but yeah, it's still a really solid film, and yeah, it really does show off the kind of, have a thematic weight to it in terms about the cutthroat world of capitalism, and you know, how you do in terms of working non-stop and stuff like that. And yeah, really solid film, even though it's basically about getting apples from one place to another in, you know, general. So yeah, but again, Blu-ray and oh, I did not notice that had been come off. But yeah, again, Blu-ray and yeah, it's actually broken. That's a bit of a shame. But oh well, I'll have to deal with it. But yeah, again, you get the Blu-ray and the DVD. And an unrelated thing there. That is annoying that has broke. That's the first time that's actually happened. But yeah, I'll find another case for it somewhere. But yeah, still a really good film, and yeah, makes it 4 for 4 in terms of Jules Dessin films. And then finally we have a odd western in the form of Terror in Texas Town, because it's got none of the typical showdowns going for it, and yeah, it's not got much in the way of action, but it is really rather solid in terms of its plot, and Sterling Hayden in the lead role is great, and yeah, it's got a really nice wraparound narrative to it, because it starts with the ending and ends obviously with the ending, and yeah, it's really rather solidly done. And yeah, it's from the director of My Name is Julia Ross, which we've seen before, Gun Crazy again, which we've seen before, and The Big Combo. So yeah, it's a superb now 4 films in a row from Joseph H. Lewis, and yeah, that's really nice to see. And yeah, I highly recommend it if you're into your more low-key kind of westerns, as it is only 80 minutes. It is in black and white, and like I said, it doesn't have much in the way of action. But yeah, not much of a extras to my collection here, but still a really rather solid lot. There are more to come in the next update video, as you'll see hopefully on Friday. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.